Even better.
How?
Merry Christmas.
If you're Russian.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Unless anyone else wants to dive in.
And I completely muted my mic. Yay! Go on, sorry.
I think the last session we managed to fight our way through the room with the multi-cupboards in it. Then we found a long passageway. Walked down the passageway, discovered there was like this weird necrotic zone where everything, all the metal rusted or something. And then I think Tacklin made his way across, sacrificing basically all this stuff. And then he pulled on a ring in a statue's face or nose.
Yeah, like a bull's head, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that seemed to do the trick. It negated it all. Fafuk was running around Starkus at that point, trying to not lose all this stuff. And he kind of likes it. Then we found this great big open column filled with some kind of plasma at the top and the bottom, and there's this big chain that's slowly working its way in. I think somebody jumped to the other side, but didn't really say what they found, and then jumped back again. And then we explored the door to the south wall in the tunnel.
So Orbol jumped over. He's still there.
Yeah, I'm not back yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll just temporarily
right.
put your characters on this thing, so just so you can see what you're talking about. I mean, you and Tacklin went down them steps, but
yeah, I can't remember if Obold went off and he's not told us. I think he's been gone like an hour or something, or more than an hour. So we've decided he's dead, and so we carry on without him. So we headed down to that doorway in the south of the passage, and I think we went down a few steps and opened into a room, and there were like 3 little Chucky toys coming at us.
Yes.
And a room full of green smoke.
Yes. Yep. So that was just
at
you
which
and
point
Tacklin that went down there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was it? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And that's where we decided we're now peace out. We're going to have a 3-week break and come back refreshed. We're too tired to shit right now. That was it.
Yeah. So you say I don't think Obold had been gone for that long. Can you remember anything about what you were doing, Obold?
I found that thing in that room, but other than that, I think I just started studying it.
Yes, this is what he does. He goes in, he sees a puzzle, he sits down, stares at it for an hour. So after about 45 minutes, we've decided he's dead, and we don't want to follow him. So we've decided to do something else.
I don't think you were up there that long. I think you were minutes before we got bored, and we decided, fuck that.
Yeah, maybe, I think I was only over there for like 15. I think
we like 15 minutes. It was dead, and we didn't care about him, so we got.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think that pretty much sums it up. So I'll just give a recap on on where you actually are, then the location you are. So, just going to Obold for a moment. So you're in a chamber with a bronze apparatus centered on a hinged arm, slowly rotating. Within the arm is a 10-foot diameter globe decorated by a topographic map of landforms and oceans. Concentric rings of brass constrain the device, all rotating and bearing their own lesser spheres. One of those spheres has sharp points and appears to represent the sun. Carvings of tall, headless humanoids decorate the walls of the room. And then I think you approached it, or got a bit closer to it, and as you did so, the apparatus suddenly swings around, its rings rotating out of the way as the surface of the globe peels back to reveal a dark, hollow interior. Inside this cavity is a padded bronze chair with levers built into its armrests. And I believe that's where we left you.
No, is he in control again? Fucking hell. It's going to take us another 2 weeks to get through this.
So meanwhile, Luhai and Cade were just waiting on the other side of this shaft with this purple light, this violet light, and these huge chains that are connected to this all these massive gears, and the chains disappear into like this vortex that's like racked with lightning at the top and bottom of the shaft. The chains disappear into this vortex up the shaft, down below the wrap around this huge cog, and it's constantly in motion. And also, like I say, Tackling and Pafuk went down the steps, which are just a little way to the east of where you are, and let's see what they. So let's pop on there for them. Switch screens a moment.
Did we get some dialogue from these things?
There may be. If you just have to give me one, like Sam. The forge is running slightly slow, so it might take me a little bit of a while to catch up. Just bear with me a moment. So I need to
Like a sloth
drag me to
Slightly, it's
there.
running like dog shit.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube with kids, so everything talks back to me a minute.
Okay, there we go. We should be able to. You might be able to. You should be able to see
Keeps
something in a
popping
moment if you can't already.
Yeah, I can see
So
it.
for everybody else, you can actually.
Unresponsive. Pop up.
You what? Sorry.
Keeps popping up page unresponsive messages.
Oh, does it?
No, I'm not getting that on mine.
No, I'm not getting that. Like I say, it might be because Forge is running a bit, might be running a bit slow. Servers might be busy. But anyway, so yeah, you go down this flight of stairs that leads into this room, which I'll give you a recap on the room. So you descend down the stairs, and to the edge of this room, green smoke billows out of a bronze cauldron in the middle of this 20-foot high vaulted hallway. Barely visible through the haze are 3 rocking chairs, several workbenches heaped with haberdashery, a spinning wheel, and a rusty iron cage containing something inside the cage. It's covered, although it's covered with like a blood-stained blanket. So to either side of this hallway, there's galleries about 10 feet above, with doors running down, 3 doors running down each side. You can't see the far side of the room because it's obscured, or you can't make out details of the far side of the room because it's obscured by this smoke.
Something spoke to us, didn't it, Phil?
Yes. So, like I say, you were there, and while you stood there looking about, 3 tiny figures waddled towards you through the smoky haze. A straw doll with rusty pins sticking into its body, a faceless child modelled from clay, and a stuffed monkey with the lower body of a unicycle.
What?
I can show you in a moment. Just give me a minute. Let's see if I do it. Search for it that way. That's probably
Sounds
better.
like something from Wizard of Oz.
Not the right one. Okay, that's the right one.
Well, I think
Okay.
I think
Fireball.
I think we've run into the witches. I think these are the witches, hags rather.
So
It
I shall just
smells
show
like
it
fun.
to Tackling and Furfu. Oh, and to
Yep.
and
Yeah,
to,
that's not nightmare fuel. I don't know what is.
This is not going to end well for your.
Right, can we roll initiative then?
I've got a seat for my popcorn now as well.
right. So
Yeah, you know nothing. You're just sat and staring at your navel in some other place.
right, the
Again,
the kind of stuffed monkey with the unicycle for a lower body. So it looks like it tries to speak, but it speaks. It coughs, and just like lumps of like stuffing come out of its mouth. And the straw doll looks at him, pats it on the back, and it's like stops till it stops coughing, and then it turns to you and says, "You need to run away. The Sewn sisters will be back any moment now."
How far can I drop kick a monkey on a wheel? Do I get 10 points if I drop it in the cauldron?
Giving us friendly advice, why do you want to be murderable?
It's pointing out the bleeding obvious.
Okay,
Can
so
can I shout back up the stairs, please?
um,
Creepy dolls! Creepy dolls!
I suppose you can. They probably well, there's no response because they can't they probably can't hear for the sound of the distance, and also the sound of all that crackling lightning and the clanking of the chains and the gears. So yeah,
Fufuk suppresses his urge to instantly attack one of them with something,
okay.
and goes, "Who are you?" Start with the basics.
So the straw doll sort of shuffles, totters forward a little bit.
No, you can stay right there.
Right, so still leans back as if like sort of
There's
leaning
no
away
space,
from you.
buddy.
Oh,
There's no
sorry,
space.
my name's Straw Bundle. This is Clay No Face and Joe Ho.
Joe ho ho.
And what are you?
We were children. But I can't remember. We don't remember our real names. The night hags captured us and tortured us and trapped our souls in these mannequins.
So if we cut you open, will the kiddie souls come out?
I said, I don't know. But I don't like the sound of that.
Just for thinking.
But
Okay, sorry. So
if you
said
can help
night
us, we would love to be free to get to rest, to finally be able to rest.
Okay, how can we free you then?
We don't know.
Well, do you know what the soulmonger is? You might not want your souls freed right about now.
Oh, no, what's that?
They don't know the soulmonger.
No.
We are the night hags.
This is a hiding. We don't know where they are. They're always listening. We daren't say their names. They'll hear us.
Weren't they supposed to be helping us out anyway?
I thought the night hags were being forced to work for Asherak, and so they were actually predisposed to helping us.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that us being teleported at one point, losing years of our lives and all sorts of stuff. And I thought that was the night hags assisting. In a weird kind of harmful way. That's why Obold's now too old to be a half orc fighter kind of thing.
No, I got zapped by that doorway, didn't I?
Yeah, but we all did.
Yeah, I failed. Everyone else passed, I failed.
Yeah, but that whole thing was like a night hag setup.
No, I don't think it were a night hag setup.
For fool got his skeletal hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't that a night hag setup?
no. No, that were a
Well,
thing when we were
I'm
gonna go
not. I'm
through
not telling you.
we were going through that tunnel.
You
Trying to get
met. You
from
met some.
the
You
mountain
met
to the other
some weird
side.
witches. That's really. I remember. So the three. There were one with a bag on its head. There were one with coins. Coins where her eyes should be. And another one that looked like just like a cliched witch. I think, if I remember rightly.
Oh, I thought it was a slot. Okay, my bad. Okay. Well, okay. What's behind all these doors then? Can you tell us what's behind the doors?
Yeah. Okay. So the clay doll puts its hand to its face and like carves a like mouth into its face. Because, those are the trials. And it's talking. Its mouth seal. Its sort of its face its mouth starts to disappear. Its face starts. It's like smoothing over. Going.
What are the trials for what?
Trials for the big green door. Says Straw Bundle.
I don't like the sound of that.
And she turns around and sort of walks back into this green cloud of smoke, and then pauses, turns back, sort of waves for you to follow her.
What do you think, Tacklin?
It sounds dangerous. I'm all for it. Let's do it.
All right. I will. Oh, I can't bardic inspire. I'll cast guidance on you before we go in, just in case that makes a difference. And we'll slowly proceed into the room, cautiously following the nightmare children's toys.
Okay, so when you start to follow a Straw Bundle, sort of turns and starts shuffling back, and the other two, Joho and Clay and No Face, is that his name? Yeah, Clay No Face. They like follow on, kind of not behind you, but walk along the side of you. As you pass that cage with this there's some unseen. Something unseen in it, just covered by this blood-stained blanket. You hear this whimpering.
What's under there?
Oh, No Face stops and drags a finger across his mouth. That's a looky-likey.
Well, like a doppelganger.
Like a mimic.
Says the and his mouth disappears again.
The Fook will cast Mage Hand and use the Mage Hand to pull the blanket off it, so he doesn't have to get too close.
Okay, right. As you pull this blanket off, this figure sort of hunched in this cage that's way too small for it. Hunched and like sort of flinches away from you. Out into the into the shadows at the back of the cage, but despite that, you got a good look of it, and you sort of almost take a step back in surprise. It looks like Cade, but like severely deformed. One of his feet is like twice the size that it should be. The other is just like this. Like almost a stump. His eyes are like off outer alignment, and there's like sort of almost look like cancerous growths on on exposed parts of his body. His
So
teeth
like
are all
a-
crooked.
Like a better looking version of Kate.
Sorry?
So like a better looking version of Kate.
What the fuck is that?
So Strawman says, that's a looky likey. They
Looky
ask you
like.
questions all about you. They know all about you.
What the fuck?
If Kate
Can I-
had a
can I
jo-
check- can I
if
check
Kate
that
had a
it's like-
joint, he
what?
would roll one.
Can I make sure it's caged in?
Sorry?
Can I make sure it's caged in?
Yeah, there's a
I-
padlock on the cage. It looks
It's
quite
not
a,
getting out.
no.
Okay, cool.
Right, so Strawman will kind of stand the pauses for a minute, and then you want to see the big green door?
Oh, yes, please.
Right, so you follow across the room and through the smoke, and as you get towards the south end of the room, you can see this huge, the southern part of the door of the room, or the wall on the wall, is taken up by this huge green stone door. So it's about 12 foot high and about 10 feet wide, made of some kind of green stone, and its surface is carved with grinning goblin skeletons. A belt of smooth stone spans the door at a height of about 4 feet, set with 5 gold symbols in a row: a triangle, a square, a pentagon, a hexagon, and an octagon. Each symbol is engraved on a recessed circular seal. And I can
Oh,
show
hang on
you.
a second.
I
That's
can show you a
familiar.
picture of it. I'll show you
It's
two
the
pictures anyway.
Teletubbies. Teletubbies.
Teletubbies.
We're missing two of them, aren't
Skeletons.
we?
The skeletons. The Teletubby skeletons.
Oh, they. Oh, I know what you're on about now.
So Strawman said, she starts whispering, saying, the hags, they're nursing some kind of creature on the other side of there.
Tacklin, let's go back to the others and count how many of these things we've got, because this looks like 5 to me. I don't think we have 5.
Agreed.
Do little creatures want to come with to have a conversation?
We can't leave. We've tried, but we can't leave.
Can we kidnap one of them? Tacklin, do you think, or should we leave them?
I'll try putting. I ain't got any clothes on, so I'm naked.
I like. Can we? Well, how about we try and take one of you with us, because you seem quite useful, even if a bit creepy.
So Strawman says, are you our friends now? Are you going to help us?
Saving souls for Fugsall for saving souls. Here's a cleric. So one thing is definitely in this for is to save souls.
Right. So
Even creepy little.
so they all sort of crowd round your feet. The monkey with like squeaks over on its wheel, and try to say something just like.
Oh, sweet Jesus! All right.
Like the cat that always sits next to you and coughs up fur balls.
Yeah, and then licks its ass.
Yeah, right in front of you.
Right, get back to the entrance and pick up the creepy dolls and
You're gonna
take them
pick them all
the
up?
stairs. I try and scoop them up
They're probably about so big.
like a foot.
Yeah, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, a foot, no bigger than a foot.
Okay, I try and scoop them up and and then get them up the
Okay,
stairs.
so you have to be careful of the straw bundle of like rusty pins. They seem they very easily like stick into you, and one quickly draws blood. It pricks your surface of your skin. Whereas no face is it's weirdly sort of cold and warm, clammily warm at the same time, almost sweating when you pick him up, and your fingers sort of leave imprints in his body.
And his head.
So gross.
And the other one, it's the wheel. It's you pick the monkey one up, and its wheel spins and squeaks excitedly.
Food keeps his dinner down.
I pick up the wheel one by its wheel so it don't move. It's just dangling. So,
Like it coughs and splutters and like coughing up lumps of stuffing.
when you say stuffing, do you mean like
As in
Sponge.
stuffing from
Sage.
like a soft toy.
Not like
Be-
soft
be
Not
more
sage
like
and onion.
stuffing.
not sage and onion? Okay, cool. I like sage and onion.
That would be creepy if you started eating this.
It's delicious. I'm not having that.
I
Stuffing
feel like
is-
eating his vomit.
I don't care. It's delicious.
So gross.
Okay, so you're going back upstairs. So yeah, you have no problem carrying him out of the room, and the straw bundle gives an excited kind of yelp
Why?
as you carry this. Oh, we've never
Oh.
been able to leave the room.
Oh, so they couldn't choose to leave, but they could be taken out.
It seems that way.
That was lucky. Right. Okay. I just need to be gone for 2 minutes, but talk among.
Okay.
How about the rest? Can
Well,
the lot
yes,
meet
yeah,
each
we're
other
going to go
for
back to the others for a moment. So, let's just pull me back there. There we go. So, what are Cade and Cade and Luhai doing?
Kid is admiring his twin.
Oh, he's not there.
Oh, it's not there. Oh,
No,
sorry.
you two are still at the edge of this chamber.
You'll need to unpause it, Phil. Still
Oh, sorry.
paused again.
Yeah,
Edge of the
suppose.
precipice.
Not that really should affect anything. So yeah, you two are at the edge of this chamber. You know nothing about what's gone off down there.
I just look around.
Okay, we'll just wait for Obal to show up again.
Yeah, come back. Ugh.
Okay. So in which case, what's Obal doing?
Yeah. He thinks the
Grill
chair
the
looks
dolls.
comfortable.
Have you guys grilled the dolls? Pumped them for all the information you can.
No, we're just going back to what they were doing while you were down there.
Herbal thinks that the chair looks comfortable.
Obal's suicidal.
So he's going to sit in it.
You're going to sit in it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. As you sit in the chair, and it's really quite comfortable. And as you sit in it, the globe, it closes up, sealing you inside.
Who is in control?
Oh, well, it starts to close up, so it's up to you. Are you gonna sit there? Okay, right.
Yeah.
You just sit there, and it closes up, sealing you inside. You can somehow see still inside.
All right. You said there were levers and
yeah.
stuff in here.
So there's room to stand up as well. It's big enough so you could actually stand up from the chair as well. And you can sit as it there's a kind of a clunk, or as it seals, as it fully closes and seals shut, and like I say, you can see, and then the like walls of this globe that you sat in become transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And yeah, there's levers. There's various levers at the end of each of these, each armrest on this chair.
I'll start going from left to right then. See which ones
Okay.
do which. So pull the first one, see if I notice anything or anything happens.
One moment.
Sorry, what's happening now?
I'm just checking on what actually happens. This is a little bit okay. Okay, so as you move these levers, it causes the rings to reorientate themselves. The rings, and there's like globes on these rings, and there's like I said, there's one that seems to represent the sun, and manipulating these levers changes the configuration and alignment of them.
All right. I'll see if I can figure out any sort of pattern or anything identifiable while they're moving them, as I'm going through them one by one.
Okay, so all right. Okay. So, is there any type of particular alignment you're trying to set up? Like I said, there's maybe what six orbs and the sun represented on these rings. One appears, or two appear to be the moons of the moons Selene and Luna that orbit the world of our Earth, and the rest appear to be other planetary bodies. So the sun, two moons, and 2 or 3 planets.
So the bit I'm sat in is supposed to be
Yes.
a Earth.
That would seem to be a reasonable assumption.
We don't know. We don't know anything about any other planetary bodies, or do we? Apart from the 2 moons.
And the sun.
Unless it's some
Well,
other
no.
setting.
I'll try lining them up with our Earth in the centre. Do 3 on one side, 3 on the other.
What? So
See
you
if
line
that
them
does
all
anything.
up, so like as if they're all in like conjunction. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can roll. So you do as you do that.
The stars are right, Phil.
Yeah. You can roll a percentage dice, a D10. Sorry. No, yeah, percentage dice. It's a bit hard to tell. This table's a bit
Percentage.
doohickey. So yeah, percentage, please. Okay. Right. Suddenly, there's a hissing noise, and this gas starts to fill the interior of the globe.
Oh, joy.
Um,
Oh.
I think you need to make a Constitution save.
Oh dear. We need to get next level quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Constitution save. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've just done it.
I'd say that were a save.
I hope it's a
Okay,
save.
yeah. So you managed to like hold your breath a little bit and only inhale some of these toxic fumes, and as a consequence, you only take. Where are we? I'd put a divide by 2 on there. I wonder if that works. It does. So you take 8 points of poison damage.
It is but a scratch.
But this cloud, this vapor, toxic vapor, does not dissipate. It's contained inside this sphere with you.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's kind of a grinding noise, and sparks fly from the levers in the end of the handrest, and the whole thing sort of gives this screeching noise, and you can hear, or rather, you can hear that it falls silent. The entire thing just like shuts down.
Try walking to where it opens, see if it opens again.
Right. Well, as soon as you stand up, the top sort of starts to open up, and it kind of judders, and there's a slight gap, but it stops. You'll have to, it seems the only way to get out is to like, physically force your way out.
Yeah, surely. No, I'll have to do that then.
Okay, you'll have to make another Constitution save.
Yeah, that's going to be a fail.
That is going to be a fail. Okay, so you take 11 points of poison damage, and you can make a strength check.
We can see your rolls full.
You can. No, it doesn't matter. I'm not cheating. I'll change it though.
This time.
So you can cheat.
Okay, so
14,
you try and prize it. It gives a little bit, but not. Yeah, so you'll have to try a bit. Yeah, you'll have to keep trying. At which point you'll have to.
Can I see up into one of the corners of the room, like top corner?
I suppose so. Yes, I suppose you would.
I'll just shadow teleport out then.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, coughing and spluttering, you appear maybe sort of above floor level and then drop, hit the floor. As you do, when you look round, you can see the ring that's got the orb on it that represents one of the moons is sort of looks to be like vibrating, and then you can see hairline cracks suddenly start to spread across its surface, and light starts to like shine through these cracks as they sort of slowly widen.
I'll move away from that to the opposite side of the thing.
Okay, well, there's not much. The room's not very big. There's about 5 foot space all the way around this apparatus.
Yeah, but I want to be to the opposite side of that thing that looks like it's going to explode.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, like I said, the glow, these cracks intensify and widen, and suddenly there's a white flash, and this globe just shatters. And suspended in what would have been the center of this globe, see this like form sort of curled up in like a fetal position. It's kind of indistinct, can't really quite make it out. It's indistinguishable, but as you watch, it starts to grow in
Hey.
size quite
Stab it.
right,
Stab it.
quite rapidly.
Kill it.
I think I'll start backing off down
Okay,
that
it's
tunnel.
a crawl space. You have to crawl down it.
Run away.
Yeah, I'll crawl down it quite fast.
Okay. So let me see. Maybe get a glimpse of it just as you like crawling down, because it's like
Yeah,
it's like I
yeah,
say,
yeah,
it's
let's
growing
have a
in size quite quickly. Like
Tell me it's got a long
seconds.
trident and can reach down the tunnel and hook him while he's crawling. Hey, what do you call it when guys get something?
Where is it?
I'm sure there's some deviant term for it.
For what?
What's the question?
For when guys get poked up the arse by a pole.
Ah, there it is.
Please make that happen to Obold for being stupid shit and going offline.
Let's see. So yeah, it looks as it grows in size. You catch you catch a glimpse of it. Of its form is more distinguishable as you like duck and start scrambling down this tunnel, and it looks like this fat bloated thing, humanoid figure with like wings sprouting, huge wings sprouting from its back, curled horns protruding from its head, like long pointed ears, and these like fiery eyes, and in its hands, even though it looks like it looks like a growing fetus almost, in its hands is this huge evil looking axe, or huge in proportion to its body. But yeah, it's maybe about the size of a toddler by the time when you just like nip into and start scrambling down this tunnel and quickly emerge on the platform on the other side of that shaft.
And
I think
Yeah,
you
and
want
I'll-
that axe, Obold.
Yeah, go back to
I
the
don't
axe.
think I do.
Go back to the axe. It's a toddler. You could just take it off it like candy.
Okay,
I'll,
at this point, Tackling and Fafook start coming up the stairs.
That's we show up and go.
I'll just drag you into there. Pull to scene. Okay.
So we came up. Yep, and we've got the three creepy kids toys and go. We found these three creepy kids toys that seem to be playthings for the hags, and what looks like some weird copy of Cade, maybe better looking, not entirely sure, locked up in a cage down there, who seems to be questioned by the hags, so they know exactly what's going on with us. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Oh, and we found a great big green door with shapes in it that correspond to those skeleton skulls that we've been encountering occasionally.
So a little straw doll with the rusty pins in it, like pokes its head up. Hello.
Yeah, I like put them on the ground with a bit of a shudder, and I tried to introduce them. I can't remember their names.
So she points out. She says, "I'm Straw Bundle. This is No Face, and this is Joho."
I think they are children's spirits trapped in toy bodies by the hags. And anyway, so obviously you guys may have some questions about the Cade lookalike down in the cage below. Don't know. Could kill it. Might be wise. But
so at this point, you see a kind of panicked-looking Obold appear on that opposite ledge, opposite platform. The one it's one that's slightly about 15, 10 feet higher than the one that you're on this side. Sort of suddenly appears looking a bit frantic.
And then he'll run round the edge of the room to the other down to the other platform.
I was just about to ask, is that a circular room?
Yeah. That's how I got up here in the first place. I ran up the walls.
I can't remember if you did that or jumped across.
No, because this platform's higher than the one on your side, so I couldn't shadow step up there. I had to run up the wall.
Okay, yeah. So a rather agitated, or, well, yeah. So Obald runs around, drops down to this platform, this side.
Oh, hey, Bold, we thought you were dead. So we carried on with Archer. Anyway, meet the children's dolls, trapped children's souls in little dolls by the hags that are associated with Asherak. And we found a big green door with keyholes that correspond to the skeleton heads that we've been finding. But there were 5 of them in the big green door. How many skeleton heads do we have? Can anyone remember?
4.
3.
3?
Yeah,
I thought we
3.
got 4.
You said 3 earlier.
No, it was me that said 3 earlier.
Oh, were it? I thought it was
I
Dan.
remember us get yeah.
It's 3. I've got
As
a
soon as-
list. I might have forgot to update my list.
As soon as Elbold lands on the platform, he'll just compose himself and just saunter forward. There's a broken machine on the other side of there. Seems to be spewing out demons.
That sounds
Did you,
interesting.
Did you break it?
No, I just had to
Did
sit
you
down in the
break it?
seat, look quite comfortable.
Did you break
No.
it thinking you were way cleverer
No.
than you really are and then break it?
Nope.
And now you're trying to pretend you didn't?
Yes. Sat down in it, had a look at what it could do, and then all of a sudden it started spewing a demon out. So I thought I'd come across and warn you.
And have you learned your lesson about going off by yourself and then almost dying? Probably not. Shall I answer that? Probably
I
not.
almost died. As soon as I saw there was danger, I came back to let you know so that you'd be prepared.
Instead, you just led the danger to us.
No, you were growing quite quickly, so I don't think you can get through that passage, hopefully. But just in case, I'll
You'll bravely stand on the far
not
side
move
of the
anywhere
party.
because it's saying I'm moving through a door
Oh, sorry?
still. I'll not move anywhere because it says I'm moving through a door. Oh, there we go, finally.
You'll
Just
bravely,
be on the safe side.
so you'll bravely stand on the far side of your party from the demon you unleashed.
Well, I don't want to block your view of it. How can you defend against it if you can't see it? I'm still in the way.
Right, as if on cue, you hear this roar, this unearthly, hellish roar that echoes from across the other side, somewhere across the other side of this shaft.
Oh,
See? Told you.
God for that.
That does sound interesting.
So yeah, according to my list, you have a triangle-shaped key from the first level, a square-shaped key from the second level, and an octagon-shaped key from the 5th level, from this level.
This is level 6, isn't it? Oh, it's not. It's level 5.
Did we not get the square one?
I think we saw it and it ran off.
No. We saw one in that room with the pit and the 4 gargoyles, but we never actually killed that one. We missed it twice.
It came back,
Yeah,
didn't
we
it?
missed. Yeah, we saw it twice
Ah,
and we
okay,
missed
cool.
it both times.
I thought
All
we
right.
got it. Sorry, my apologies. I thought we got it on the second time.
So,
Top 3.
right, so we need to go. So I assume, talking to the little kids' toys, so I assume we need to get all the keys before we can go through the big green door. And behind the big green door is the thing that the hags have been taking care of for Asherak.
Are we going Teletubby hunting? Because
Yeah, we're going Teletubby hunting.
this is the best time.
Right. Unless you guys have any objections, we need to now go back all the way we've gone through
Oh.
the gears, up the
Let's
stairs.
let's talk to the dolls, see if they know a better way.
Hey, maybe Cade can cast knock on the big green door and it just opens.
Oh, that might work.
Do you want me to do that?
Yes, please.
If it saves us having to go back
Yeah. But
6 sessions, that
if
would be
anything
fun.
comes out, then we may have to deal with it. Okay.
Oh, well, let's all go together as a group, just in case it actually does open.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's copy and paste you down onto the next level then. One moment. I'll make the transition.
The fact Phil's pushing us down this avenue has got to be a good sign. Let's do this.
Oh, how naive.
So put you all at the top edge.
I would be quite shocked that if we've reached the big boss door, that it opens with a knock spell.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh yeah, I'll point out the Cade copy in the cage.
It's only 9:20. We've got loads of time to have a big boss fight. Let's do this.
I love your enthusiasm.
So excited.
Yeah. I can feel.
So, the three dolls, they sort of like, well, they don't want to go back down.
Well, you can stay on the stairs if you want.
Okay, so they cower at the top of the stairs.
Is there a picture of the dolls, Phil?
Oh yeah,
You
sorry,
didn't
yeah,
see it?
yes, there is indeed.
Oh, that must be.
you
Oh,
haven't
we've
seen
seen it. Sorry, yeah, we
I
have.
want to see the Cade one.
I'm afraid there isn't a picture of the Cade one. You just have to use your imagination.
I was expecting one from you.
If I would have had
Just
time
moving
to
to-
like mutilate your picture, I would have.
No,
Have you ever seen like a House of Fun? You know, like when
Feel I'm just messing.
So these talking to the dolls, these
Oh,
trials
You look
doors,
cute.
the trials, they're called the doors, the trials, not the big one, but the ones around the side. What were those about?
And they got symbols that match the door, or are we not supposed to see them, Phil?
So you can see that, yeah. So on each door is a shape carved into the door.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, there's 3 doors, but I can see 5 shapes. That's what I'm saying. Are we supposed to see them, Phil?
Well, they're on the doors, so
Well, shall we try these?
Yeah, but there's
Okay, well, cast knock on the big green one.
okay. I'll give you
Or
a
we
picture of
can
the
use-
big green one because everybody else hasn't seen the big green door either. Have they? So,
3 doors is 5.
yeah, this is fine. Might
I
be
can only
just
see
still.
3. Right. Yeah, can see 5 now. That's why we're asking if it was something I was supposed to be able to see, because I can only see 3 doors with 5 symbols. Something tells me we won't have to traverse all the way up to get the others. I think we can just go for the missing ones at those doors.
you're gonna have to explain that because I don't understand what you're saying.
We've got 3
Yeah.
already, haven't we? So the 2 that we don't have the shape for, I think you can just go and take the trial for the shape we don't have, and then you'll be able to get it that way. I think that's why there's 5 doors and they have a symbol, a different symbol carved on each one.
Yeah, I can see the symbols now. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. If that is a thing, then that we should do that.
Yeah.
Because that would save us having to traverse all the way up through the levels again and have to battle through gargoyles and all the other shit all over again.
So we're confident. We're confident we've got 3 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, knock them off, and then we'll do others. Let's do it.
Right, Phil. So
So what are you
we
doing?
try and open. One that we've got is at the triangle or the square.
Defo triangle.
Okay.
Well, we've got the triangle.
Yes.
So we'd need to go to a door for a symbol for one of the things that we don't have.
Next to the triangle of this one is the pentagon.
Have we got the
I can't
pentagon?
remember.
You have got. What? You have got the triangle, the square, and the octagon.
Okay.
So we want the pentagon and the one below it then, do we?
Yeah.
Yep.
So those 2 doors on the
Right.
west wall.
Well, no, we've got the pentagon next to me, and then the octagon is lower down. So we've got that one. So where tackling is, we want to open that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Ah.
Right. So
do
opening. Are you opening the door?
No. Stop. No. 1 second. So just to be clear, so the top left-hand corner, the triangle one. We've got that. But does that correlate to the triangle on the north wall? So the triangle in the top left correlates to this one, yeah.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
pentagon
Yeah.
correlates to the one next to the food, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, right, fine.
Yeah.
So let's have a discussion then.
So we might as well just go through this door then, the pentagon one.
That's what we say.
Well, choose either that one or the one below
No,
it.
we've
whichever
got the
one first.
octagon.
Which is bottom right, isn't it?
It's bottom right.
Yeah, the octagon's the bottom right.
We need to clear the west side.
There's a circle on
Northeast,
the circle on the bottom right.
Yeah.
Triangle.
Circles.
That's
Yeah.
a circle.
Yeah.
You've got a triangle.
I don't look like a circle.
Oh, whatever. It's sorry, it's not a circle. It is a.
It's an octagon.
Yeah.
It's got 8
It
sides.
is, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a hexagon.
No,
So,
this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Ah, you're right.
Yeah, so you got pentagon. Well, yeah, I suppose they go up 3, 4, 5. Yeah, well,
So
yeah. Anyway,
there's 2 doors on the west that we've not done.
yes,
Yes.
2 doors on the west
Okay.
that have the
Yes.
have the symbols of skeleton
That we've not
heads
captured.
that you don't have. Yes.
Yeah, so just choose one to open first and we'll go through that one.
I suppose the one next to tackling is everyone wants to come up and arrange themselves.
You guys feel so loved when you're surrounded by me. Oh.
Lou, I'm staying further back than I normally do.
What's the order? I mean, what?
No order, mate. I'm just going to open this door and we're going to go through.
Okay, right. As you open the door, the delicious aroma of spiced meat greets you.
I'm starving.
At the end of a 20-foot long corridor, a room opens up, and you can see red tapestries covering the walls. A feast is spread out on 3 tables.
Who's that guy?
So, a feast is spread out on 3 tables consisting of roast boar, squash stew, and a tray of iced cakes. Flagons of frothy beer complete the banquet. A gaunt human male in a dusty black suit quietly arranges the items on the cake table, taking notice of your intrusion. Without a word, he gestures for you to come forward and sample the feast. Is
Yeah,
anybody
fire
blessed
down
with
in
the
order.
spirit of Kubazan or Nang
Nope.
Nang?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
I'll look him dead in the eye and tell him, I am hungry as fuck.
Right, he opens his mouth as if to say stuff something, but there's only sort of like dust, like comes like fall is like blown from his mouth, like fine dust,
Like sand.
dust.
All right.
Okay.
I'd literally just like palm him by the face and push him out of the way. And what we got?
Hang on a second. Let me. I can cast Identify on the food. We can see if there's anything cast on it.
You're gonna have to knock about because I'm really hungry.
Okay, I cast it. It's going to take 10 minutes to cast as a ritual.
No, too late. I've already started eating.
Fafuk will take 10 minutes and ritually cast Identify on.
Okay.
From north to south, I've started eating.
What you're not going to wait? You're going to start eating?
Yep. 10 minutes.
Nom nom.
So from the to north is or to your right as you go in on this north
No,
table.
my
is,
north. So, my north.
Yeah.
North. All the way around. Yep. Counterclockwise.
So to your north.
I'm just going to start eating. Nom.
To the north, on that table is laid out roast boar.
Oh, delicious.
Are you going to start eating the roast boar?
Yep, of course I am. I'm
Okay.
starving.
Okay, what's so for Fook's cast
Everything has
starts
a
casting
pork
ritual. Orbol, what are you doing? And what's Aluhai and Kay doing? You're still stood out on the landing.
I'm coming in.
Yeah.
I think I'll be leaning up against the corridor wall, just watching this with fascination, see what happens.
I mean, can you ritually cast Detect Magic?
Yes, I will.
I suspect everything will be magical here. But I figure it may be worth a shot.
Yes, I agree.
Trial of gluttony.
So my theory is that Cade can tell us what kind of magic stuff is, and my Identify will tell us specifically what magic stuff is.
And Tackling will tell you how delicious it is.
No, I think Tackling's dead. That's what I think.
Nah, I don't think he is. So far, it's 8. 8 out of 10 is delicious.
Come on, Phil.
Right, sorry, I was just having to double check something. Well, take 10 minutes. So probably 10 minutes is about the time it takes you to consume a setting of or like a portion of this this boar.
A deathly amount of food.
Yeah. From one table. So Tackling, you eat a serving of this boar.
A fatal helping of boar.
Okay. Okay, so what? So Fafuk was casting Detect Magic, yes.
Identify, and Cade's casting Detect Magic.
Okay. So Cade, right, you can't fully see the room. You can only see the guy in the suit and the table at the far end. But both radiate, both the figure dressed in the suit and the table behind him on the west side, both radiate magic. You can't discern what kind of magic is coming from the food on the table, but you detect an aura of. Where are we?
I'm guessing conjuration.
Wrong. Delicious. It's delicious magic.
No, it's going to be transformation, and you're eating the remainders of the Yellow Banner team that came down here because they got turned into pork
Serves them right.
and then cooked.
There is an aura of illusion
More
magic
interested if it's
upon
necromancy.
radiating from the figure dressed from the man dressed in the suit, in the black suit.
Okay, so can I send a message to Tucklin? Don't eat the food.
Too late. He's been eating for 10
Too
minutes.
late.
I know, but I still try. I know that. I know it's too late. And I like to relay some of this information to, Fufuk regarding the illusion on that man. But on message again.
Okay, what, you're using the spell message to do it, not verbally speaking?
Not verbally speaking. No, message as a spell.
Okay.
Well, I've got to touch the food to cast identify.
Okay, so and you're ritually casting identify, did you say?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that takes a bit longer. So
No, it's the same.
Cade's
the same
casting.
method.
Is Cade, you casting that ritually as well? You say?
The detect magic was ritual.
Right,
message is a cantrip. I can't.
No,
pass
sorry,
it.
just the 10 minutes. Okay, so it's going to take you both 10 minutes, and so for food
Yeah.
slightly delayed, so you're going to go slightly up. So tackling, you consume this serving of boar meat and
10 minutes worth of.
and roast vegetables, and you feel strong. You feel like your whole body feels just like super strong. And
Super dwarf.
any time you have to make a strength check, you will receive advantage.
Day that ends in Y for me, lads. Let's do this.
What? How is this a trial?
It's not a trial. I'm just really, really hungry.
So what are you doing next? What are you doing next, Tackling? So at this point, for food, well, you get this message message in your head from Cade saying, "Don't eat the food," after you've just finished eating this boar meat.
Is there a door on this room?
There is no door, but you can make a perception check.
I will make a perception check. I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stop anybody else from eating this meat.
There's more than enough
Delicious.
for everybody.
Nah, I don't care. I just want it for me. Perception. No.
What else is there, Phil?
There are on the north table. Well, you can't see from there, but so the only table you can possibly see is the one directly ahead, which has got squash stew upon it. Vegetable stew.
So I'm doing the whole greedy little dwarf thing where he's like, "No, this is mine." No.
Each table has tankards of frothy beer on it as well.
Oh, that's gone. Easy.
So do you make a perception check? Okay. So yeah, there's no door. Like I said, there's these three tables. There's these heavy red tapestries hung along the walls. They're hanging from like iron rods, like they're bolted to the wall.
Tackling
And each
is
is
in
made
heaven
up
right
of
now.
each is made up of pentagonal patches stitched together.
Tackling doesn't care. He's in heaven. He's eating his body weight in anything he can touch that tastes delicious. It's making him feel
so
super
for food-
strong and just drinking everything. Rah.
So for food, you were casting identify,
Yeah.
and what you were doing. So you have to touch something.
Yeah, it was going to be the one due west.
Okay, so this
Just because the
so the
dwarf
bowls
refused to
of
let me go near the one in the north, so I had to go to the one in the west.
Okay.
If he tries touching my food, I'll bite him.
So there's enchantment. You detect if there's some kind of enchantment upon them.
Identify spell.
Beyond that, you don't know. It's you sense as you touch it, you sense there's some kind of enchantment on it.
But after 10 minutes watching Tacklin eat, Tacklin just looks happy.
He seems fine, yeah.
Mate, I'm like a Labrador in this situation.
And he, as you look, he starts guzzling down this one of these tankards of frothy beer, and ends up with a foam beard.
On top of his actual beard.
Fuchs just had good berries now for about a week. So he's going to have a nice big piece of meat off the table and a flagon of ale just to,
Okay.
If nothing else, he'll cast lesser restoration on himself and cure whatever STD this gives him.
Okay, so drinking the beer, you gain a special D6 dice. Anytime in the next 24 hours, you can roll this dice once and add the result to any D20 result rolled.
What? Fuck me, this is weird.
Sounds cool.
No, it is. But...
What's the folk doing?
Well, he's
eating the boar, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
right,
that's on the west table.
You're eating the squash on the west table. So yeah, you took into this like vegetable stew. It's delicious. All this food is absolutely delicious. Best thing you've ever tasted. To the point that just like once you start eating, you almost can't stop. You could, but it's. As you like eat this stew, you just feel healthier and healthier. You feel like this just as healthier, more alive than you've ever felt. And from you, anytime you have to make a Constitution save, you gain advantage.
Holy fuck!
We need to tell everybody else about this. Like, get everybody else in here right now.
For Fuchs, just like, you got to try this. This is
the best
I'm not
ever.
I'm not eating anything, not drinking anything.
I swear to God, this is better than any fish you've ever caught in your life.
No.
Come and try it.
No.
Have some of the beer. It's certifiably awesome.
No.
On my life, Tiny Pants, this is amazing. Let's do this.
Tiny Pants.
I know, but the answer is still no.
Anyway, Fuchs just basically tries to eat until he reaches the if I have any more, I'm going to throw up the threshold, and then just
so if you want, you could quite easily eat something from each table and quite happily drink at least one flagon of beer.
That's me. I'll do.
That's it. Fuchs will do the same.
Advantage on everything.
Okay. What's Lou
now.
High? What's Cade Lou High doing?
Robots just wander off after seeing themselves gorging themselves.
I'm just watching the rest of them eat, and I don't trust anything, so I'm just watching the surroundings.
Okay, so like I say, you you down one of these flagons of beer, and you gain this. You feel lucky. You feel this Dutch courage of the beer. You feel anything's possible, and you gain a special dice. You can anytime you roll. Anytime in the next 24 hours, you can roll this dice once, and you can add the result onto a D20 roll.
Brilliant.
The guy in this suit, the guy in this suit, looks like a mate, dressed kind of like a maitre d'. It's like dusty. His suit's a bit dusty and threadbare. But he sort of helpfully passes you things as you want them, and smiles and points to the food. Every so often he coughs and like dust, just like clouds of dust, just like pudder from his mouth.
I hold the pint up to him. Do you want to try some? This is amazing.
He just like.
Suit yourself.
So you were continuing to it. You eating? They trying the cakes now.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Right. So you eat the cakes. Cakes are delicious, sweet, but they're just not too sweet. just right, just absolutely delicious. You stuff your face with like, oh, it's like icing and cream and stuff all over your face and your fingers, and you just feel the sugar rush just coursing through your body. You just feel full of energy and like whoa, just get, like you feel your feet tapping, can't keep still. Hey. And you gain 2d10 temporary hit points. Which you can add now in.
I think everyone's forgetting the imagery of a naked dwarf, everything free, smashing his face full of food. Looking, he's going to come out
jiggling
looking
around.
like he's been in a cake smash fetish video.
Jiggling around, all sorts of things.
That's
jiggling around.
Cake smash.
Yeah.
How long does the hit points last?
Until they're used up. So your temporary hit points.
Wow.
So they go into your temporary hit point slot on your character sheet, and they're deducted first.
Wow. Wow.
So for food, you can make a spot hidden roll as well.
Perception.
Yeah, sorry,
Perception.
Spot hidden.
Whoa.
Oh wow. Okay, so while you're feasting on these,
I find the fine print under the tanker that says you're fucked.
so while you're stuffing your face with these different cakes from this table, I don't know why I'm looking at that. You glance up. Maybe happen to be looking at these tapestries. Like I said, the tapestries are made of like stitched together pentagons, which of course matches the shape that's carved onto the door of this room. And you kind of stop for a moment and squint, and you can see something like faint image, almost hidden in the design. And as you look closer, you can see it starts to form almost like one of them magic, the magic pictures.
Yeah.
Almost like
Magic
one of them.
eye.
Yeah,
Magic eye
almost
pictures.
like one of them, and you can see this picture start to form, and it's a devil's mouth, like the same kind of motif as those devil faces that you've seen everywhere. And you can see it's almost like its mouth. If you look close, keep looking, it's almost like it's there's like a cavity appears. It looks like you can see a hole where the mouth is.
In the tapestry.
In the tapestry. If you look away, the image goes, but when you look back and sort of squint and stare at it for a while, this image slowly reforms, and as it becomes more distinct, you can see a hole where the mouth is, about the size of your fist.
I toss a cake in.
Okay, right, it goes through. It disappears.
I say, hey guys, can you see that devil face on the tapestry? I just tossed a cookie straight through its mouth.
Right, so Tackling is the only other one nearby, so glancing over, Tackling doesn't see it.
I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean, usually stuff comes out of it, or we've tossed stuff in, or we've climbed through things, but I cast Mage Hand and see if the Mage Hand will go into it.
It does, but you can't see it once it's inside.
Can I shine a light so...
You shine a light at it, it doesn't penetrate it.
I don't want to stick my hand in. That would be stupid.
Put your skeletal one in. Not missing much.
Well, no, it still works. I mean, it could still get chopped off, and then I would only have one hand. I try and toss some more food in, see if it's hungry.
The ones that some hit the side and just fall to the floor. Other, the ones that that hit the mark, they just disappear instantly. You're like, yeah, they're going through the hole, but you don't see them.
I try and pull the tapestry up to see behind it.
Okay, right. You pull it up. There's just a stone wall behind it, and nothing on the back of the tapestry. As you drop it back down, again you can't see it, but then as you squint, you can see the image. It starts to reform, and eventually you can see this face again, the hole where its mouth was. Okay, by this point, Tackling, you've gorged yourself on as much food and beer as you can eat.
Oh, I am so full. Long rest, please.
So the maitre d' offers you a napkin from his pocket.
Please. And I'll dab myself.
So you can wear it around the waist.
Like a loincloth.
Yeah. Piece of string and a napkin.
Thank you.
I asked the maitre d' get his attention and point at the demon face and make like shrug marks.
And he sort of like half bows and like sort of points towards it.
And is he making like touch it motions, or is he making
just like as if like just literally like that, just puts his hand out as if he's like pointing you the way.
To be clear,
Harry Potter
spend the rest of his life here if you don't pull him out of it.
Okay, fuck it. Fafuk puts his hand in and sees what happens.
Okay, right. You reach in, and as you reach in your hand, you can't see your hand beyond the edge of this mouth. You reach in, there's like a space. You can't feel the wall behind it, even though it should be just like mere inches behind this tapestry. You can't feel it. It's just like this cold space, and then something you feel. Your hand touches something cold and solid, and it's a lever.
Make sure it's not ice cream.
I pull it.
I need a dessert.
You gonna pull it?
I pull it. I pull it.
Okay, right. You pull it. You pull it towards you. There's a click. So, Elbow, outside you hear a faint sort of grinding noise, and your attention is drawn towards the door, and on the spot of the door where there's the pentagon pattern, a panel slides back, revealing an indentation. It's an indentation of the same shape.
Oh, damn. So it's not filled the indentation that were already there?
No. It's open. It's revealed.
There was no indentation, was it? It was just a symbol. Was it just a symbol before that we saw for that?
So
shape?
there was the pattern, but it was but yeah. So just like a pattern, just a slightly recessed pattern, and as Fafuk has pulled this lever, this like a panel has slid back, revealing a recess of the same shape.
So now we have an actual place we can put that shape of the skeleton.
So, yes.
Yeah. So it's not done what I thought it would do.
No, it's not done what I thought. So we don't have this key.
No.
But now we understand how these rooms work. We have to go through all the trials with all the keys.
No.
And then it does something to the big door.
It's not even about doing trials, is it? Because they just randomly appear on certain levels. We just got to wait for them to come.
No, I mean these rooms. These
down.
rooms are called the trials.
Yeah. So you have to get all the keys, and then you have to complete each of these rooms to open the indentation on the door to put the keys in.
So the keys don't go on the big green door. The keys go in these rooms.
No, they go in the door. Because at the moment it's had a slight recess. As soon as you've pulled that lever, then the pentagon recess on the green door has slid away to receive an actual full indent for you to put the key in.
Sorry, I thought that was on the room we were in.
No.
So you're saying that recesses formed on the big door?
Yeah. So a panel, the way the shape
Yeah.
was on the door, a little panel has slid away, uncovering the recess on the door.
Right, so we can do all these rooms and then go fetch the keys, basically.
You could do it that way, I suppose.
We might as well not bother doing the rooms.
I wouldn't bother doing the rooms just in case.
Well, they reset.
Or, like,
Well,
this food
possibly, but why do them now when we're going to have to do
again.
them? Well, we've got to go and get the keys anyway.
Well, do we want... Well, I mean, the problem we have is... Sorry, I'm just trying to...
Stop. Before we go any further, can we cast knock on the door, see if we can get through?
Yeah.
Fuck all this off.
Something tells me it's not going to work.
I give it a try.
Okay, so as you leave the room, the maitre d' bows and dust. It takes a moment to like dust you off with a brush that he produces from inside his jacket.
I'm covered.
I hope all the
I'm
trials
covered
are
in
like
food
this.
and like dribbling and stuff and just.
And
I hope all the trials are like this, like a food buffet in everyone.
so he follows you as you leave as well. As the last of you leave, he follows you to the door and closes it behind you. Cade and Lou High, as you leave the room, your stomach starts to rumble, and almost instantly you're doubled over with like severe, massive cramps from hunger pains, and you just almost
Can I resist? Can I resist this, please?
no, cannot.
Okay.
You are
Start eating
overcome
some rations.
with crippling hunger pains. That
Start
will
eating some
give
rations
you-
on.
Okay, right, you consume some rations, and it doesn't matter how much you eat or drink, it does not satisfy your hunger.
Can we try a good berry? Tacklan, can you give them a good berry or something?
I've got 10. We've probably done between us 5. Yeah, so I've got another 5 that should satiate the hunger for the entire 24 hours.
Yeah, I'll have one of them.
It does nothing. It does nothing to sate your hunger. So it's so painful and crippling, you will have disadvantage on attack and ability rolls.
Oh shit! Can't they go back in? Can't they go in the room now and get something to eat? Guys, go into the room. Eat as much as you can.
It's fucking delicious.
It's amazing. I feel great.
I'll see if I can open the door then, Phil.
Yeah, the door. Yeah, you can open the door. The door opens, and as you open the door, the maitre d' appears and sort of bows slightly and waves you on in to sample the food. The tables are all as if they've never been touched.
I'll go and eat some of the food then.
Okay, which one? Or are you eating them all, or just one, or?
The table to the west.
No,
the stew.
we ate everything and it was all delicious.
Off all the tables.
I
Everything,
try
yes.
one bite from every table, and I gulp some drinks as well.
So, Cade, you're going to try something from every table and drink the beer.
Yep.
Yes, but in my mind, I'm fuming. I don't want to do this.
Okay.
Did
so
you?
as you eat the boar and you feel like invigorated, you feel strength, you feel like new strength running through your body, and you have advantage on strength checks. Any strength checks you take in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
You eat the stew and you feel like just incredibly healthy. Healthier than you've ever felt. You have advantage on constitution saves. You eat the cakes and you gain 2d10. You're like sugar, massive sugar rush. And you gain 2d10 temporary hit points. There's a special space on your character sheet. Temporary hit points. You drink the beer and you feel like this really like confidence, like Dutch courage, confident, like levels of confidence. And you any point in the next 24 hours, you can add a d6 to a d20 roll, just the once. Lou High, are you eating and drinking everything?
I'll have the same as what Kay's just said.
So everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right. So the I should say as well, it might so whether it affects it. You after the first thing you eat, your hunger disappears.
Right.
Do you want to eat everything?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to eat
Yeah.
everything?
Yes, I said yes.
Okay. Right. Right. Like I say, after the first thing you eat, you finish eating the first thing, your hunger's gone. But you can continue to eat stuff, and so yeah, you eat. So you sample everything. So
Yes.
so yeah, after that you just feel full to bursting point, but you feel invigorated, just full of energy and healthy and strong. And the four of you almost feel sorry for Obold.
Oh. Why does it roll?
So how come Obold didn't have these cramps?
So I wandered off.
So what are you doing?
Go back out.
Okay, right, you go back out, and the maitre d' sort of escorts you out. It seems like he's saying something as you leave, and he takes
Can
his
I read
brush
it?
out.
Can I read his lips?
Can you read his lips? You can make an intelligence check, I guess.
Intelligence check.
No, you've no
Oh,
idea.
fuck.
As he tries to talk, though, just like I say, just kind of coughs and splutters a bit, and just like motes of dust come out of his mouth. And he follows you up and closes the door behind you.
Right. So, I mean, that was. I certainly hope the rest of the trials are this delicious.
I doubt it.
Okay, so we now know we have to go back and we have to go collect those skeletons. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you
Which
think?
floors did we get them from, Phil?
Sorry?
Which floors did we collect the
Which floors
keys
you
we've
collect
got
from?
from?
You collected them from. You've collected one from the first floor, the second floor, and the fifth floor.
Do you think this
So
was
the
part
third
of
and the fourth we need to go
the
back
witches
to.
helping us?
I don't know what this is.
So you got the
Oh, there.
octagon-shaped one from the fifth floor, the triangle-shaped one from the first floor, and the square-shaped one from the second floor.
So the third and the fourth floor are where we need to go.
We've just been forced to boost her up.
Well, how about we do something about that thing in the cage? Because if the witches are interrogating the Cade look-alike to find out about us, it would make sense if we got rid of it so they couldn't. You want to say any last words before I give it its final rights?
Nope, I'm definitely on board with killing whatever's in the cage with you.
Okay, can the Cade look-alike roll a Dex 15 save, please?
It cannot.
Bye-bye.
You can't dodge that.
Oh, no, not Spirit Guardians. That would be I Sacred Flame it for 12 points of Sacred Flame.
Okay, right. It screams in agony as it's consumed by the flame-like radiance,
Sacred Flames, yeah.
and it dies in agony. Cade, you take 12 points of damage and fall to the floor, screaming in agony.
So my temporary hit points are gone and I'm on -1.
Oh, God.
-1?
No, -1 from my original.
One way it started.
Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't clear.
Oh, sorry, Cade. I had no idea it was a bloody voodoo doll.
Listen, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
What are
Have some
these?
more cake.
Yeah, come back in. Have some more cake.
But Queen
Every
Antoinette
free.
over there.
Go bring it in.
Let them eat cake. But, hey, and Full, aren't you the guy who argued that cakes should not be able to heal you? And here we are.
Oh, Phil likes magical cakes.
Yeah, I like these.
All
ones.
right. Well, I suppose if this is the witch's lair, sorry, hag's lair, do we want to fuck it up before we leave?
No.
How big is the cauldron?
It's pretty big, probably almost about 5 foot across.
I think they're trying to help us here. I don't think we should fuck anything up.
I think we should empty the cauldron, right, onto the floor, and then we should drag the cauldron up the stairs and then toss it off that bridge down into the chain hole and see what happens.
No.
The food gets advantage on strength checks, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, Fafuk tries to rocket over.
Okay, can make a strength check.
Oval's left the room.
Does 10 manage?
No.
Come on, Tacklin, give me a hand. I know you're up for it.
Apparently not.
No,
Come on.
definitely not.
Not.
I can see what you're trying to do, and I'm dead against it.
How high up is it?
What?
Off the ground. How high up is it?
It's not. It's sat on the ground.
Oh, but what? How high is the?
Oh, so how tall is it? It's about.
Yeah.
It's probably about 4 foot tall. It's like I say, it's about five across, maybe 4 tall. It's like a real big.
I'll try and talk him round. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just calm down. Chill.
Can I piss into it?
We have options right now.
You could, if you can inspire yourself.
Why are you
to
lashing
look at
out? Stop lashing out.
I try and piss into it.
Stop it. I'll
Looks
slap
like-
him on his pecker. Stop it. This is not going to help anybody.
That's a sight
We've
to
got
behold.
3
A
keys.
naked
We've got
dwarf
5
slapping the
keys.
cleric with.
Trying to piss into the hag's cauldron.
Who's trying to piss up and over the top
Trying to
of
arc it.
the cauldron?
Stop
You just want Cade on the other side casting some sort of wind spell at
It's a
the
blood
food, so
bath.
just pissing into
Ah!
the room.
Blood in his face.
Yeah.
Okay. Fafuk gives up and says, I still think that would have worked.
Stop.
Fine.
Fuck is
And
wrong
I-
with you?
Off in a huff.
Don't storm off. We've got 3 out of 5 keys. Let's just focus on getting the other 2.
I still think we should get rid of that cauldron. Isn't cauldrons like important to hags? We should get rid of it.
What about pissing in cauldrons? How do you feel about that?
I just like the thought of them drinking my piss.
Yeah, well, you know.
So what are you all doing?
Go find some skeletons.
Well,
Yeah, I
I've
know
left
you
the
have,
room
yeah.
already. I'm
You'll
back
be-
up the
you'll-
top
yeah,
of the stairs.
Head back up.
I'm following Fafuk. Every time he gets his widget out, I'm going to smack him. Right on. Tries to piss on something, I'm going to whack him on it.
And what about Eluhai and Cade?
I'm
Moving,
still
we're
just
moving.
watching what this, companions of me doing, I mean, I don't know, should I cry or should I laugh?
Okay, so
One is trying to be
Cry.
sensible, the other one the opposite, and we are lost between them.
okay, so everybody marches back
No. Where are the dolls?
Upstairs.
upstairs.
Top of the stairs.
So everybody marches back upstairs.
Quick question, Full.
Yes.
Do you remember when I cast Dimension Door last time?
Yes.
I ended up in this, like a room full of
That room,
some
that kind
rubbish.
of abattoir.
Yeah, and then there was like something with tentacles in there with me.
Yeah.
What level was that?
What level? You don't know.
Yeah. Because no, I do, because I left. I crawled out, and then I ended up on level, and then I had to retrace my steps to get back
You
to the
did. You ended
party.
up on. I can tell you what level you ended up on. Let me
Because
see.
I'm wondering if maybe like Cade can cast. Oh shit, Cade can't take anyone with him, can he?
No, because I'm too small.
Because I was thinking if we cast Dimension Door, you
I
and
know, but I'm too small.
Yeah.
What about asking the dolls, see if they know if the sisters have said if there's a better way to get around between levels than having to traverse all the way around like we have done?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, full scrap that idea, because I'd end up it'd just be two of us ending up there.
Okay.
So yeah, we chat to the dolls while we retrace our steps, finding out if there's an easier way to move between
So
levels.
you quickly learn that they don't know anything beyond the room that they've been. Beyond that room that we found.
Okay.
Sequestered.
So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. A few things they do that they haven't told you. So they tell you that they've already told you about the Sewn sisters, and the Sewn sisters are like hags, night hags, and they daren't mention the names, because if they mention the names, then they're scared that they'll hear the names being mentioned, and it'll bring them, summon them to them. That they claim that as children they were tortured and murdered by the hags, and their souls were harvested and trapped inside these mannequins, these dolls. That the hags are nursing some kind of creature that's on the other side of the skeleton gate, but they don't know what it is. That the hags have been torturing the lucky likey that you killed in the cage, that was in the cage, to learn everything about you. They also know that 5 keys are required to unlock the gate, that skeleton gate, and each key is a skull that's carved into a specific shape. And that the skeletons that bear the keys wander the upper levels of the tomb, and like they've already mentioned, the trials must be, there's five rooms of the trials, and the trials must be overcome before you can use the keys. And that's all they know.
Well, what do the little creatures want to do now?
They want you to save them,
Right. So,
but they don't know how.
well, the thing is, we could like squash them flat, I assume, or toss them into that vortex plasma maelstrom thing around those chains. I think we tossed a coin in and it disappeared, so I figured it would do them in quickly. But their souls would probably get sucked into the soulmonger, which they did say that the hags are taking care of something behind the green door.
Yeah, nurturing a creature. So.
Yeah, that does sound so bloody ominous. It's unreal. Okay. Well, I mean, they can tag along. How fast can they move?
How fast can they move? Good question. Figures. Probably not very fast because they're very small. Let's see. Yeah, about 10 foot. Their movement rate.
Sweet Jesus. Okay, well, why don't they just stay here, and we'll be coming back this way anyway at some
Oh,
point.
we've got to, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got to come back this way anyway, so we can pick him up again on the way back. They're going to hide out somewhere or something. Yep.
Okay, right. They don't seem. No, please don't leave us. It's scary. What if the hags? What if the son sisters come back? I thought
Well,
you were
run
our
off the end of that.
friends.
No.
Run off the end of the platform, and all your problems will be over.
Right, just they kind of look at you. Sort of, No Face draws a puzzled look on his face before it fades briefly.
Well, maybe some of these big, strong fighters can carry you. I'm just a weak
I'll take
cleric.
all 3 of them. I will pick them up and put them on my back. I'll take all 3 of them.
Okay.
There
Come
you
with
go.
me, children. It's fine.
Okay, so where are you going to put them? Because, like I said, they're about a foot.
Across my shoulders.
So you're going to want them to sit on your shoulders.
Yep.
Okay. So like Strawbun says, "Are you our friend now?"
Yes.
You can make
Have you got any
cons-
pants?
You
I've
can
still
make a
not got any
charisma
pants.
check, a
Me?
persuasion check. Is it persuasion? I forget what it is.
Intimidation, surely. I've got no photo.
Persuasion,
Intimidate
yeah.
something. Yes, I'm your friend. Fucking shut up.
I'm so friend.
Is it charm? I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'm confusing it with Call of Cthulhu now. Persuasion. Yeah, make a
persuasion.
persuade check. Okay, right. They refuse. So your manner is probably so gruff and offensive that they don't want to ride on your shoulders.
Daft racists.
In fact, they want to stay away
And
from
besides which, you stood
Silly
there.
little Toy
Yeah.
prick.
Besides which, you start naked in front of them.
you.
Kick one across the room. Fuck off then. Let's do this.
You want to kick one?
No, mate. This out.
What? You're not going to kick one. No?
Okay, Cade. Okay, Cade will take one if Luzai and Cade or Oval takes the other one.
Okay.
So who's taking them?
All right.
No, I'm not taking one.
Cade will take one, I'll take one, and Luzai, do you want to take one or Obold?
Surely
I'm not
surely
taking
the monkey wheel is fast enough, isn't it?
No, he only moves
10.
at 10. It's just like this wobbly, squeaky wheel. They all move at 10.
Come on, Luzai, pick one up.
So which one you
I'll
taking?
take the one without the spikes, please. Luzai can have one with the spikes.
You taking straw bundle, are you, Lee?
Yeah, all right then.
So Luhai, straw bundle. I'll just write this down because it's easier. Fafuk is taking who?
It doesn't matter. The one with no face.
Clay, no face. And that leaves Joho, the monkey on a wheel for Cade.
Yeah, monkey on the monkey, sure.
So yeah, he'll have to sit inside your backpack because he's like almost a third of your size.
Cool.
Can we draw
Ride him into battle.
Can we draw a laughing with tears emoji on that clear face?
Shush, I'm way ahead of you. I draw a dick on his face.
Are you doing that?
He pisses on
I
you.
tried to.
You try to. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So you do. You manage to draw that on his face, and he sort of rubs it off, and then draws a sad face before it that fades briefly afterwards.
Oh, I was just checking. You're fine.
Unless, of course, the person who was carrying him stops him from doing it. Oh no, it's Fafuk. It's you who's carrying him, isn't it? You've got clay face. Yeah, no face.
Kick him in his non-existent teeth.
Okay, so, but Straw Bundle asks, says to Luhai, so are you our friend? The dwarf is horrible, and he's naked. And he smells. Are you
All
our
true
friend?
things. All true things.
Out the mouths of babes. Are you our friend?
Yes, I'm your friend.
You can make a charisma check. Persuasion check, sorry.
Well, this is going to go well, isn't it?
Don't forget, you've got your magic 6-sided dice.
Nat
Yeah,
20.
you want to use
Nat
it
20,
on
right?
making friends with a weird ass doll.
Persuasion check.
It's going to become a weird ass doll because if it carries on talking about me like that, I'm going to stick it up my ass.
Oh, we all rusted pins. Septicemia.
Ooh,
Wide ways.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh shit. So Straw Bundle. She hugs you, maybe a little bit too tight as the pins stick into you. Maybe draw a little
Ow.
bit of blood. But yeah, you feel you've been really, or at least successfully put herself across as being really, really genuine in in what you said. And you feel this sort of kinship with Straw Bundle, and you become
going on
aware of some transference of energy between you.
hey, listen, monks and kids have got bad rep for a long time. Okay, you need to be very careful how this monk and this little kid interact. Okay.
Okay, so this is what happens to you.
And I gave some good vibes.
No.
No good vibes. Monks do not have good vibes around kids.
You got kitty AIDS.
There you go. You can make a note of that somewhere.
Oh, is it not public knowledge?
No.
Ugh. So
I
you get the
told you,
diddling kids.
the church keeps this stuff secret. I'm telling you.
And of course, Cade, the monkey on with a wheel, sort of coughs and splutters, and you can just about make out as it after it makes several attempts to talk to you and sort of starts hugging you. If you get the impression it's trying to form a bond with you. Do you wish to reciprocate?
Yeah, however, I want to send him a message.
Okay.
Because with the message he can answer,
Yes.
can't he? So that's the way of communicating, overcoming his problem with speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, that's clever.
So that's what I'm doing, okay?
Okay. So what's the message you're sending him?
What do you want to say?
What do you want to say?
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
him.
what? All right.
I'm
Okay.
throwing him an open question, and he can form
Right.
the answer
Yeah, I
in his
get you now,
mind
yeah.
if he's wishing to communicate
so he
with
says-
me with the spark.
It says.
Magic is awesome, isn't it?
He says,
Do
"Will
you
you be
like
my?
doing
Are you
this?
my new friend, the little man?"
I'm not sure of that yet. Why do you think that?
No, he can't. Yeah. He sounds a little. He says, "Oh, okay." And he sounds a little sad.
No, I haven't rejected you. I'm just wondering why you think that. Explain.
He's looking. He says, "I'm looking for a friend. We've been alone for so long."
How long?
He says he doesn't know. He can't remember.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And are you trying to escape from here?
So he says, yeah, the thing they want most in the world is to be free.
And is there any relevant information you haven't told us yet regarding this place. We
So
should,
no,
we
there's
should
nothing.
have,
There's
we
nothing.
should have.
There's nothing else. There's no other. There's nothing else I can tell you that you haven't
Mhm.
already been told by Straw Bundle.
Okay, I pat him on the back. Okay, so thank you.
All right, let's get move on then.
Right. So what you do?
Back the way we came. We've got to go hunt some skeletons.
Okay. So yeah, we'll not put through everybody through the torture of manipulating the cogs, shall we?
Oh, please! I'm looking forward to another 3 hours of that.
So let's just assume you know how they work. So let's just where is it you wanted to get to?
Well, we need to get all the way back through the cogs to the stairwell, so we
To the
can
stairwell.
go up the stairwell to the previous level.
Okay, radio. So you're going back there. So let's go there now.
There's
Find it.
basically
There it
something like that. But I mean, we probably want to reach an open space and cast Leomund's tiny hat and get a long rest.
Yeah, well, you need to get at least up the stairs first, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good plan.
Way. This room is the one the T-Rex came out of, isn't it?
Isn't this the one that they were drawing on?
Yep. So they're still there. They're still there. Like the floors being repaired a little bit more, and there's still these these undead artists still going around painting, touching up the paintings, and you notice the paintings have been updated and they depict some of your latest antics. At the minute, one of them's painting a picture of Tackling stuffing his face with food.
I mentioned to the zombie that Tacklin's dick is a lot smaller than how he's drawn it.
It's massive. What are you talking about? It's just cold in this tomb. You talk like a baby's arm holding a.
Okay.
Apple. Right.
So
you need to.
Whoa! There you are.
What?
Tlad comes creeping out out that side passageway. He goes, "Where the hell have you been?"
Uh-oh.
Oh shit! It's a doppelganger. Fucking gank him. Is that Obold? How'd you get up there so far? Come on, guys. It's a
No,
doppelganger.
stick together. No, stick together. We're all together anyway.
We were up to this point.
Yeah, well, we were all sticking together. We've just you just mentioned an Obald doppelganger. Obald should be with us.
I haven't moved him.
Yeah. Obold, come back here. Don't get too close.
Because I says, "Whoa, what's happened? Where have you been?"
No, where have you been?
Says, "Oh, right, I followed you, and then I lost track of you, and I've been looking for you for ages. This place says, thank God I found you. I didn't think I'm going to get out of this place."
Stay right there, lad. Remember, there was a doppelganger in here. Now
He says, "I've seen the others. They're all dead."
I'm going to watch him, Phil, and see if he's putting on a performance or.
Okay.
I will attempt to inside check him, but even if he passes, I'm still intensely suspicious, just because we know how tricksy doppelgangers are.
And they can read your mind.
Yep, and we know they can read your mind now.
Right. All bets are off. Let's just kill him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, probably not good enough. 16 on a perception check.
Perception. It's insight.
It's insight.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Where's insight?
Okay,
It's a 10.
you think he's being
24.
genuine?
24.
Yeah, you think he's being genuine? Says, look, it's I'm fine. It's just me. I lost track of you, and so I tried to find the others, and they're all dead.
Which others?
The others that were trapped in the middle with me. You remember? And
Oh.
he starts to back off a bit, and he says, "Don't you remember?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've survived alone in here for what? 3 days?
It can't be that long.
No. 2.
We've had at least 2 very, very, very long rests.
So I don't know. It's there's no sun, no moon down here. I've got no way of keeping track of time. So I've been hiding most of it.
I wish I had some spell that would.
What has he learnt?
Yeah.
That it's fucking dangerous down here.
Have you collected any of those skeleton skulls?
No, I did see one though earlier.
Oh yeah. Which way?
What shape?
It went headed down to where that mirror was.
Did you happen to catch what shape it was in his head?
I've been steering clear of everything.
Just a little
Anything
thing.
I've been keeping out. Anything I see, I head the other way. Find
Just a
somewhere to
little
hide.
thing. It will have had a shape on its head. What was the shape?
I don't know. I wasn't hanging around.
That's the wrong answer.
Because I want to get out of here. I'm not chasing skeletons with novelty heads.
Right, what do you guys want to do?
Shit. I'm unwilling to just murder him outright because, even doppelgangers will have souls. But we can't trust him at all.
He's just going to have to go his own way.
All right, let's
No,
go find that
you
skeleton.
can't just abandon me down here.
Well, no, you don't. You can leave. You can leave if you want. Just keep heading up. You can leave.
I did, and they're all dead. There's no way
No.
out.
There is a way out. I don't think we got in.
Not anymore. There isn't.
Why isn't there?
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Why can't you get out now?
There's no way out. What do you mean? How simply can I put it? There's no way out.
What's stopping you getting out?
There is no exit. Yeah,
Okay,
he seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah, that was a lot lower than my first one, so it wouldn't change. Okay. All right. Well, let's
The
go
entrance is
collect
gone.
skeletons.
There's no way out.
Okay.
At least not that
Okay.
way.
Well, let's put a pin in it. Okay. Let's go find that one that's gone to the mirror room.
I will follow Fafouk.
Okay, right. As you approach, he's like, so Tlad shouts, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Careful, there's them gargoyles back."
Oh, yeah. We got to go and pay supplication to him again.
Can't we just walk down the side passage?
Yeah, I've got that. Well, is this the one where they've with the plants that attack you? Because I've got that rod that stops them from attacking you.
No, it's the gargoyles around the pit.
Yeah.
Gargoyles
As soon
on
as you step in,
pedestals.
as soon as you step in, they become active.
Yeah, but how did Tackman put money into these slots last time and they didn't
Yeah,
attack?
we placated him, didn't we? And then we
No,
smashed
he didn't
everything
get
else.
anywhere near it. He didn't get anywhere near it. That's what he was going to do, but he didn't.
Danny, we between Fafuk and Cade, they banished everything, didn't they? However,
Well, that was last time. That was last time.
however, I thought we'd come to some kind of agreement that we just give them money based on what was on their pedestal. So there's like a copper, a silver, a gold, and a platinum.
Yeah, that was the idea. But when you went to do it, they came alive.
Yeah, that's because I set them off because I walked into the room at the same time and just walked up past them. So then Fafuk and Cade had to banish them.
I ain't got any money anyway because everything's been rotten on me that's metal. So somebody else is gonna have to help you.
Here you go. I'll give you a coin of each.
So kind.
I can't remember what's in this room to the north. Is this the one that led into that big chamber?
One of them goes up and one of them goes down. I can't remember which one it is. I think we might have come down that stair.
It goes down that one to the north. That's where that maze was.
Sarcophagus.
That sarcophagus. Yeah.
Fuck. So what we're doing?
Try to placate the gargoyles, or we just camp out here, right here in the middle of the passageway, and hope it wanders past. I mean, because the skeletons wander, right? So at some point it may come this way, and we just kill it. What do you think?
No. There's the mirror. There's the mirror room in there to the south. That's where we.
Yeah.
So we could try and get there, and camp up there.
Yeah, but we've got to run past. We've got to run past.
Them gargoyles are too big to get down these paths, as I recall.
Yeah, but they literally fly and attack instantly. So as soon as you leave this tunnel, they're going to come after us probably.
So we just run on one.
I mean, do one of us want to try it? Oh, Monk. Listen, Obold, you or Luzai can easily move all the way down by yourselves, kill off the skeleton because it's just one of them, and then bring back its skull. You'll move so fast the gargoyles won't be able to get you.
That's if it's got.
Yeah, do you want to go for it?
In fact, yeah, I'll just leg it, Phil. I'll get to the edge here, and then I'll just run from there to the corner, and
Okay, so
Oh,
Obald
there.
runs through the room, and as he exits through the south, from that central room, the gargoyles come to life and like fly up.
I do see a big flaw
Fly
in
up
our
from the
plan,
pedestals.
though.
One lands at the end of the corridor. One you can hear them crashing down, landing, moving about the room, and landing with a crash. One sits in the end of the corridor, glaring at you.
Did we get experience from killing these? Because if we keep banishing them, we can just keep getting experience
No,
from
you're
them.
not getting experience
Level
for
it
them.
up.
No.
Ah!
I'm locked the next level behind a milestone.
You only get it once anyway.
Yeah.
Well, there has to be the big green door. Or the last trial before the big green door or something. I'm guessing.
I'll get to the T-junction, Phil, and then I'll look left and right and see if I can spot the skeleton.
Okay. Right. So, to the right, you can see the passageway runs and is blocked by that stone block with that painting of the figure. on it. To the west, you can see into the room that once held that mirror. Obviously, you can't
Yep.
see the entire room from here.
Yeah. But
Can't
no
see inside
skeleton.
of it from here, no.
I'll move to the edge of the room then and see if I
Okay,
can see.
right, you move to the edge of the room. At
it's in here.
first, it looks empty, and then a bit of debris hits you on the head. Looking up, you see the skeleton sort of just wandering across the ceiling,
Do it!
just walking across the ceiling.
I'll shadow step up to the roof, Phil, and then try and punch
Okay,
it.
well, as you watch it, it kind of
Whenever it
walks
next
along and starts walking down the wall.
All right.
Rip his head off.
I'll run towards it and then smack it then, Phil.
Okay, go on then.
I'll shadow step to it as it comes down off the wall, Phil.
Okay.
Actually.
Go on then.
So I need that one.
Hadouken! Jump that.
Because with his first one, I get advantage. Oh, nice.
Okay, right. You just punch it and it just shatters the skeleton, and its skull just rattles across the floor.
I'll pick up his skull like a rugby ball then.
And this one is this one will be a pentagon.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Pentagon?
Good.
No, it
So-
was the hexagon, sorry.
Yeah. So I'll run back here then, and then
Okay, so you can see one of these gargoyles
I'll
is
just
like
have to sit and
blocking the
wait.
end of the corridor, and it's got like grasped, got hold of the its claws digging into the walls on either side, like just glaring at you.
I'll sit down in a meditation position then with a skull on my lap and just watch it.
Okay. Right, it doesn't move. It's like statue. It just sits there. So this one on the end of the corridor, the rest of you can see at the end of the corridor, suddenly like takes off and flies off out of sight.
Well, I bet they're just lying awake for Obol, so we could probably wake them out here. Fafuk settles down with his full stomach.
Actually, Phil, I'll flick a copper coin at it up the corridor.
Okay, right. Nothing happens. It doesn't move. Doesn't react in any way.
I'll flick a silver one at it then.
Nothing.
Electrum,
Nothing.
gold.
Flick them into my pocket.
Yeah.
Wasting money like
Well, screw you then, you stingy bastards. Well, I just thought if we had to put it in the base, then maybe they would have just taken it to piss off, but nope. I'll sit back down then.
Okay. Right.
I'll have a staring contest with it.
Right. Half an hour passes.
Don't just use Mage Hand to put a coin in the slot.
You have to be within 30 foot and lined up with the slot. Sorry, we can't see around the corner. Is there still a gargoyle there?
Sorry?
Is there still a gargoyle there?
So if you going up to the edge of the room, peering around the corner, you can see 3 of them are perched. Well, 2 of them perched, sat on the end of the corridor and around the south entrance to the south corridor. Another one is just constantly just hovering, just flapping its wings, hovering in the air, and you only just in time see one that's right to the north end of the room that suddenly like darts down and tries to take a swipe at you.
Woo!
Yeah, so I'm there like, woo! Oh shit. Okay, well, I call out to Obold and go, they don't seem to be going away. Do you want to run up and shadow step?
I can't shadow step with that thing blocking my view.
Or is it blocking the view?
And while you're flooding light in that area, I can't shadow step into it.
Would you like us to turn the lights off so you can shadow step?
Yeah, but I still can't go through the one that's in front of me.
Okay, well, you may as well settle down for long rest then. We'll all rest up where we are. Maybe they'll get bored and go away.
Oh, actually, how did we open that door before down at the end of this corridor?
You just put your hand up to it like I-5 it.
I'm going to wander down to that door then, Phil, and open that.
And do what? Sorry.
I'm going to open this door at the end of this corridor.
And now you're doing that.
High-fiving it.
Okay, right. So you put your hand up, mirroring what the image is doing, and the block descends into the floor. Open up the passageway, allowing you to traverse through if you wish.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a chi point
Okay.
first.
To do what?
For, well, 2 chi points actually. Where are we? Wait until this catches up. Pass without trace.
Okay.
Because I'm going to stealth now. And I'm going to go... see if this will actually work. No, because it's telling me I've gone through a frigging wall again.
It's alright, I'll just move you. That's fine. You get through.
Yeah. And I'm just going to carry on stealthing.
Okay.
Until I get to here.
Okay, so from
So I
here you
can
can see
peek
that
around the
rubble
corner.
choked corridor, and there's that big devil face just to your right, and ahead of you on the opposite side of the corridor there's that hidden door that is still sitting slightly open.
Yeah. But I want to check down into that room and just see if there's any
Okay, so you can see
gargoyles visible.
You can like just poke yourself out and see what you can see.
You can see what you can see.
Well, we're lit up in the passageway, so you'll see
Yeah,
us
yeah.
like a point of light in the dark.
So yeah, you can see into you can see it all, can't you?
Yeah.
So you could probably easily well, at least if they put the lights out, you could probably easily bypass it.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to wait for him to do that then.
Okay, how are you going to get him to do that?
Then I'll stay. I'm just going to have to wait for him because I can't shout to him because otherwise I'm just breaking my stealth. and me being hidden in the dark.
Okay, well, I can't see any major reason why they'll be putting them out anytime soon.
No. Well, I mean, I yelled at you.
Because the only
I yelled.
the only thing
Just go back to where you were when you're closer. Yell to us, turn off the lights, please, and then go back where you came from. So it's a bit of a walk, but it takes you, what, 3 minutes?
I'm trying to think if there's any way I can get through. Because at the minute I could shadow step to the side of it. And then hopefully try and rush past it, but that would have to be an acrobatics roll, I would imagine.
It would. I'd give you advantage because it'd be a surprise.
Couldn't you can you just sprint down the hall until you get to the first column and then just shadow step from the column to the hall?
No, because you're in there with
Too
light.
much light.
Yeah, but didn't you hear what I just told you? Go back to where you were, yell to us, turn off the lights, and then go back to where you want to make your run from. It takes you 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to do it my way, I think. 'Cause it'll look cooler. Let me just see how far. Right. So I'm going to sneak to here, Phil.
Okay. Oh, you can make a stealth check then.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going to. Stealth.
Wow. Yeah.
26. And then I will shadow step to here
Uh-huh.
and then just try and get past him into the corridor.
Okay, like I say, you can make a either
The acrobatics.
yeah,
I would
acrobatics
imagine.
check. Yeah, like I say, you can do it with advantage because it would be like a surprise attack, but you're not attacking. But yeah.
Ooh, 16.
Let me see. So
It's an opposed, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, you're way past it before it notices you, and it
Awesome.
rages and rants and smashes at the floor and claws at the side edges of the corridor, but beyond that it doesn't do anything. It don't make any.
I'll turn around and face it as I'm sauntering backwards and just go, ah. And then I'll just turn back round and saunter down to whoever's holding these heads and pass off this one.
Okay.
Probably tackling, I would have thought. Right, so now long rest and hopefully they'll go away, and then we've got to find a way to get up to the next level, really. I mean, there's no...
Or up, yeah, up to the third level, in it.
Yeah, that's right, Phil, isn't it? We're missing the square one, isn't that right?
No.
No. The hexagon.
The pentagon. You got the hexagon from here.
Oh, we've got the hexagon. It's
Yeah.
the
So the sides don't correspond to the level they're on.
No. Well, one's an octagon, isn't it? The one that you've got a triangle, a square. The triangle was on the first level, square was on the second level, and then you've got this hexagon from the fourth level. You got the octagon from the fifth level.
So we need to go up one level.
Yeah.
Is there no... So there's no way other than up those stairs past those gargoyles to get out that we know of?
Oh, what stairs?
In the central room where the gargoyles
Central
are.
room. I'm asking if there's any other way other than through that central room. Because if that's the only way, then we're going to have to rest and then banish these things once we've got our spell slots back. Unless you've got a couple of level 4 slots you'll be able to use. I've got 2 if everything goes smoothly.
I still got half my spells.
Where did we come down into this level?
The stairs. Stairs around the outside of the quadrangle, they just circle down.
I didn't think they did. I thought that central bit, those stairs just go down onto the level that the gargoyles were sitting on the plinths. On both sides. Those stairs don't go up to the next level.
Then how did we get down here then?
That's what I'm saying. I can't
These
remember
stairs
how
to
we
the
got
north.
down.
Yeah, stairs. No, that leads in.
These ones
That
to the
leads
north
I
into
there.
thought we
Dead End.
came down then.
No, that's a room with a maze on the wall. Well,
You sure? I think we actually came down these to get to this level. So I think we have to go up then to get to the next
no,
level.
I'll go take a look then. I'm happy to be wrong. Certainly be easier.
I'll check.
No, it is. It's probably. Just probably looks. It's how it's. I think it's just how it's badly drawn on there. So the stairs in the central room is the ones on the south side that go up.
All right. Like I said, they're not
No,
drawn
I know.
like that.
I would like looking myself and thinking, because I can't remember either. I'm just looking at it. It's like, but yeah, it's the ones on the south side of the central room that go up.
So
Right.
Fafuk was right and the rest of them were wrong. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not sure. I'm happy to accept that, but I don't know which way we came from.
Yeah. So you
so
definitely.
You're saying yes without trying to say that you were wrong.
So you
Is
you
that
came
what-
down.
I do not know which way we came from.
I think
That's
the
all I'm saying.
confusion probably arises from because you like dropped. I don't think you came down the actual stairs. I think you like dropped and climbed down.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I just dropped down.
The rest of us.
That's why it
We
confused me.
skipped the part with all the
Fungus.
with all the fungus.
Yeah, the purple fungus with the eyes.
Yeah,
For Fuchs' favourite fungus.
exactly.
I've got the
Thought that.
stuff, but the thing is, I've got that stuff that just makes them good sleep anyway. So
Yeah, that's true.
we came down then.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
It goes up that big central opening with the gargoyles. It goes up all the floors.
Yeah, that's central
And
shaft,
the shaft-
all the way to the
I
top
was
level.
I was under the impression we was making our way down for whatever reason.
You were.
No, we've
We've
gone
gone up is quite. We're back to where we were 2 weeks ago. 2 months ago. It's. I don't understand. I don't understand how we've ended up here.
Yeah, so we need to go up one more level because that's
Yeah.
that level that we need to get the
You need to go
The
up one
next.
more.
head from.
Right. Okay.
Because
So-
you need the skeleton keys, don't you?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's one.
Well, now we know.
There's one level you haven't retrieved from one, and that's the one level that you've not. Yeah, I think you didn't
We
explore
didn't
at all.
explore.
I think we just
because
skipped
it
it.
were all filled with that fungus.
So
Yeah.
we're just like, yeah, nope. Just dodged it. All right. So
That's the floor where you clambered over the side. You climbed
Yeah.
down.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want us for Cade and me to try and banish the gargoyles, or maybe banish as many as we can and then rest up, and then
I don't
finish.
think it's worth it. If we're on the wrong floor, then what's point?
I'm sorry, say again.
If we're on the
Because-
wrong floor,
We need to
Then
get
what-
rid of the
what's the
gargoyle.
point?
Yeah, but we need to get rid of the gargoyles to go up.
So there is one
Because while
other
they're
thing
in there, we
that
can't.
that you haven't explored that you do know about the staircase, that hidden spiral staircase that you came up
Yeah.
from the fifth level. That
Yeah.
continues upwards as well.
Oh, does it?
Oh,
Oh,
I
what the
didn't
fuck
know
are we
that.
doing here then? Right.
yeah. Piss off back to the
Yeah,
staircase.
we go
and
back to
go
the
up.
staircase.
Okay.
We told Vlad he has to stay here.
You what?
forever.
Tell Vlad he's got to stay.
Well, he does attempt to follow you.
We're like, Vlad, seriously, buddy, you can't get too close. We think you're a doppelganger now.
So no, what can I do?
Well, you stay well away from us, right? And you survived really well by yourself. Totally appreciate that. I'm a cleric. I don't want to feed more souls to the soulmonger, but I will fucking do you if you look suspicious. You
Okay, do you want to
understand?
make a? Do you want to make
See
an
that see
intimidation
that
check?
gargoyle? If you look to the east, see that gargoyle over there? Go and tickle his bollocks. Go on, what are you doing now? Just
You can do it with advantage since you heavily outnumber him, and you seem to have the opinion of everybody.
So what am I doing?
An intimidation check
You
with
could just-
advantage.
Oh God.
You could just leave tackling behind him,
Okay. Right.
or just have him.
It seems it doesn't. It doesn't seem convinced of your intent, but he doesn't make any attempt to follow you anyway.
Okay.
So
good
Cool.
dog.
So nothing, Vlad.
The snoring dog spell.
Say, Vlad. Vlad, we are working towards clearing this, and when we do, we'll have saved the whole world. You will be free as well. But if you act suspicious, we'll fucking gank you.
So who's at the front?
Me,
Bollock naked at the front.
Yeah,
No.
so everyone's got to follow and see his hairy ass.
I've got a big cape on.
Have you?
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
so
With
he's
what are you doing with a chicken?
Yeah, we'll put him at the front since he's got a cape on, because no one wants to see the front of
Like
him.
a hospital gown, it keeps gapping at the back.
What are you doing with wearing a cape on?
Yeah,
Anyway, okay. Who's behind him? I think that joke was lost.
Probably for Fook.
Fafouk, radio. And who's behind Fafouk?
it's not a cape, it's a Mac.
Who's behind Fafouk?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, me.
And then Cade, and then Obald at the back then.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Bobble's already in front, isn't he?
I was wandering off while you were threatening, what's his face?
And then Obald. Just check. I'll put people through walls there. That should be fine. Okay. So you wander up this staircase until you come to a door. So the staircase also continues further up as well.
How is that?
Like I said, this is their cheat room, so they can traverse through levels really quickly.
Well, we just want the skeleton skull. We don't want to escape from this place just yet, do we?
No, we just need the skeleton skull.
Okay, one moment.
But Fook reaches forward and opens the door in front of tackle him.
One moment. Right. Okay. Oh, all right.
Hang on, has Tackling got any weapons left?
Yes. Magical.
All right.
Um,
I was just thinking then, because I couldn't remember if everything.
Everything non-magical. Anything metal and non-magical basically disappeared.
You have to make sure you get a suit of magical clothing then for next time.
Like the ancient Greeks, they liked having all their stuff hanging loose and free.
What annoyed me is
Magical
if
life
I'd have
from-
gone down as a spider, I'm not sure it would have affected me.
Of course, you're a druid. It melds into your form, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this earlier on this morning, and I was like, "Oh, why didn't you go down to the spider? You could have got away with it."
Yeah, good thinking.
Oh, bloody hell, I'm looking at the wrong one. I thought that didn't make any sense. Sorry, we're just going to look at a completely wrong place. Okay, right, yeah. So you open this door into a strange room. This room is dark. Oh well, it was dark. There were no lights in here, and dusty. And a hulking figure wearing a bucket helmet stands to the west, with one hand on an iron lever set into the wall. The south wall is sloped and has a large rectangular window 5 feet wide by 7 feet high. The window looks into a hallway. Through a rectangular hole in the hallway floor and further down into a well-lit room shaped like a cylinder tipped on its side. So this figure by the lever makes his head turn slowly, but he sort of clocks you, but doesn't makes no sort of move towards you or anything. He just turns back, just stands there with his hand on this lever. I'll
Not to
push
make
you
light
in.
of the situation, however, it kind of sounded like a GCSE maths question, and I missed most of it. Do you want to try again?
So this room is dark and dusty, or it was, but you got light. So a hulking figure wearing a bucket helm stands to the west, with one hand on an iron lever set into the wall. The south wall is sloped and has a large rectangular 5 foot wide by 7 feet high window. The window looks into a hallway through a rectangular hole in the hallway floor, and further down into a well-lit room shaped like a cylinder tipped on its side. It's a bit weird. I shall see if I think there's a bit of a diagram to show to explain what it looks like.
You've lost me twice.
Just the volume of the room.
Well, it's 2 pi.
To the station first.
It's 2 pi RH to get the volume of a cylinder. So
Don't be that guy, Lou. Come on.
It's
What?
Sunday night.
picture of this.
Kid, cast fireball.
I can't see shit.
I'm sure there's a picture of it somewhere. But really, it's really hard to like envisage what it looks like.
It sounds important.
It's confusing enough when you can see it, but let me see. There must be a picture of it somewhere. Ah, there is.
Well,
I knew there was one somewhere.
well, if there are no skeletons with weird heads here,
Okay.
then
So basically, you're looking. I can't really show you the diagram, unfortunately, but it helped me to explain it properly.
Go.
So you've come. So the door opens into this rectangular shaped room. It's about. Let's see, it's about 15 feet wide, from east to west, and about 10 feet across. The wall, although it's got a kindly, so it's almost a triangle shaped room. I think you can just about see that. Yeah.
trapezoid.
Yeah. Going to be technical. So on the south wall, this the lower part of the south wall is kind of cut at an angle, like this. So I'll tell you what. I'll draw. Let's see. Can I draw somewhere? Not sure if you'll be able to see this. I'll draw it. I'll draw it here on this room so you can still see it. So if this is like a, no, that's not a drawing tool. If this is like a side-on view of it,
Which
can you
side?
see that? Can you see?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. So if you're like having a cutter, I'll show you in a minute. Like this. So the door is here that you've come through, and this is like a side-on cut away the room, if you like.
So the corner floor is at an angle.
Yes.
It's not like 90 degrees.
Yeah, and through here is the window that we were talking about. This like 7 foot wide, 4 foot tall hole, like a window, and that looks
Big old window,
into
innit?
a hallway that runs off to the east, but almost directly through this window you can see a hole in the floor of the hallway that goes down here. Okay, and this hole goes down into a cylinder, into a room that's shaped like a cylinder, tipped on its side. So like this.
Oh, like a barrel.
Yeah.
There's a barrel on its side.
Yeah, like this. If you can see all that,
Okay.
you can't see all that because it's gone off the thing.
Okay.
Let me see if I can drag it over so you can see it a bit more. It's complicated. It's complicated to look at. Never mind, explain. Let me see. You should be able to see it a bit better if I drag it over there. Yeah. Okay.
So we're in the top left.
Yeah, and you're in this bit here. Yeah. Also put a little cross where you are. So you're in this room. In fact, if I do a little stick figure instead. So. No, I'm trying to drag the drawing there.
So I suppose the question is.
Don't do that.
I suppose the question is, if we murder this creature, is it going to totally screw up something that's supposed to actually happen on the level that we want to be in?
So yeah, he stood. So you're in this room. He's stood there by this, almost directly to the side of the door that you've come through, which you can see. You can see his figure anyway. So you can see here. You can see the lever, and you can see him stood there. Yeah, like I say, he doesn't react to you in any way. He looks at you, but he doesn't react. And I suppose I have got a picture of what it looks like. Somewhere. And he looks like this, which is a bit of crap because it's got the name of it and it kind of give away. I don't know why they didn't remove that, but I can't be asked to move it. So there you go. You've seen some of these before, actually.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, they were guarding a hallway.
You're in a
Sorry?
corridor. There were one each
Yeah.
side of a corridor. The level above, I think.
So yeah, he's like this arm. He's like you can see like the bits of the body. You can see bits of flesh and skin and the body underneath. It looks like this arm is literally like nailed and being bolted to him. And there's a like nasty stench of rot coming from him. And the arm is all rusty and caked with gore and cobwebs. But like I say, it doesn't make, other than looking at you when you first enter the room, it doesn't react in any other way.
We're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
I suppose we can leave it there. Yes, why not? Why not? It was, yeah. It'd probably take you a while to figure that out anyway. It takes a while to kind of comprehend what it looks like.
Yeah. Because
I will come up with. I will come. There's a diagram for it, but unfortunately, I can't show you that because it shows you things that you wouldn't see. So I will come up with a better diagram of it for next time. that I can actually
Okay.
I can actually show you. Let's go close that.
Oof. Well, that was a heavy session.
Yeah, edging ever closer. So you just one key, and then you can access that door on that skeleton gateway. I will tell you this. So the gate accessing that gateway is the milestone. I will grant you a level up upon opening that.
Well, we suspected that anyway, didn't
Yeah. Well, I know you did. That's
Yeah.
why I thought I would just confirm that.
Nice one.
Right. Well, thanks, chaps.
Well, hopefully that's next session.
Yeah. Hopefully. All right. Thanks, guys. Well, welcome back, and I suppose we'll see everyone in a week or so.
We shall do.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks again.
See you
Right,
later.
see ya.
See you later.
Bye.
So that's us for this evening, and thanks for staying with us. So we'll be back to continue this next Sunday. If you want to join us on Wednesday, we'll be continuing our Tatters of the King campaign in Call of Cthulhu, which we just started last week. So we're just into the first proper session. We finished the prologue, and we're just into the first proper session of that. So we'll be picking that up again on Wednesday, and like I say, we'll be back here in the Tomb of Annihilation next Sunday, and on the following week tomorrow, we'll be continuing our session of Forbidden Lands. So yeah, hopefully you can join us for that, and thanks for watching, and good night.